Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And today we are on Clubhouse. We are live in the Mortgage Syndicate Club this morning. And we're also simulcasting to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Oh my goodness. If you want to see what we're talking about, if you want to see us today, you want to go to your favorite social media outlet and then click on search for Pill Method and click on the live so you can actually see what's going on. Oh my goodness. We got somebody here that wants to come up to the stage. We got Sandy here. Let's see what Sandy has to say. Okay, so we're going to bring him up. All right. Before we even jump in here and get started, somebody's coming to the stage. Sandy, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. And you're coming to us from where in the country?
Pompano Beach, Florida.
I like Florida.
Yeah. Florida
Okay.
is very hot.
Okay. You mean as far as temperature or as far as the real estate market?
Yes.
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 All right, Sandy, what do you have for us this morning? A question or a comment?
I have a question.
Go right ahead, sir.
I don't have a ton of debt, but I don't have a ton of money in the bank. And I'm wondering how to use the P.I.L.L method to build that up.
Okay, now
I want to create wealth. I unfortunately don't have any heirs, but I want to create generational wealth that I could give to my nieces and nephews or whatever, even though they're all very successful.
All right, that's a very good question. Can I ask a couple of questions so we can drill down on this?
Sure.
All right, so when you say you want to build wealth, what's keeping you from building wealth right now?
I haven't been able to figure it out after 60 years. I'm now in real estate for about 3 years, and I am trying to make things happen. It's just hasn't happened yet. I know it will if I just keep focusing, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but I can't afford a really serious coach. And I am, I'm trying to, I haven't really had anybody help me out. So
okay,
I'm trying to make it happen on my own.
All right. Well, let's talk about the basics first. And we're just not going to talk about the P.I.L.L method right now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Here are the basics. Have you written down how much money you want to come into your household per month?
Well, I would like to have like $25,000 a month. That would make me very comfortable.
That would make you very comfortable. Okay. Yeah. So that's the number in your head, right?
Yes.
So my question was, have you written that down?
No, I have not.
Let me tell you something about the power in writing it down. And if anybody else can, that's in the audience, all right, either online or on stage here in Clubhouse, if you have experience with what I'm talking about, please raise your hand, come up and help out in this conversation, because somebody might not just believe me. I'm telling you, Sandy, I have done this over and over again. In fact, I had to do it several times. Do you know why I had to do it several times?
Why?
Because the first amount that I wrote down, my wife and I actually achieved that amount. So we wrote down another amount and we achieved that. Then we wrote down another one and we achieved that.
Oh, that's I like that.
Okay.
Quality problem.
So here's the other thing that we tend to do, even if we write it down. We also write down how we want to make it. Don't make that mistake. It limits your options. Okay. So what you want to be able to do is recognize that you live in a world that is not hostile to you.
Right.
Okay. Not hostile to you. See, everything around you wants to grow and benefit you. All right. Yeah. So how do we recognize all of the opportunities that are around us. Number one, we assume that everything around us is for our benefit. I mean, we got food, we got shelter, we got how, we got money coming in. So what is it about this whole thing that benefits us? So when we write it down, this is okay. If there is plenty out there, do you believe there's plenty of money around?
Oh, I totally believe that there's money for everyone.
There's money for everyone. Okay. So there's enough money for everyone. I need to know right now, how do you feel that money feels about you? How do you think money feels about Sandy? That's a good question.
Based on my experience?
Yes.
It doesn't like me.
Okay. I'm going to tell you.
Earn it.
Yeah.
I could earn it, but I couldn't keep it.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Money feels very good about you.
Okay.
But when you tell yourself money doesn't like me, that's true.
Okay.
It's true. I mean, it was Henry Ford. He was purported to say, if you say you can, you're right. If you say you can't, you're right.
Got it.
Okay. So now we want to get into the mindset that's going to turn us into a money magnet instead of something that repels money through our self-talk. Okay.
Okay.
So what we want to do is write it down, number one, and then I'm going to give you a couple of books to read. And a couple of these books are actually in the public domain, but you can still buy them if you want to buy them, but you can go online and find them. All right. One is The Game of Life and How to Play It.
Okay.
The Game of Life and How to Play It. That book teaches you how to talk to yourself and how to frame your conversation around what you want to happen in your life.
The author?
The author is Florence Shinn. Shinn, I believe. Florence Shinn. All right, now listen, Sandy. I'm giving you this, so you have to come back.
Okay.
And tell me how it all worked out, okay?
Well, I've just written everything down so far.
All right. So another book is let me see here. Oh, what is another book? Let's see. The Go Giver. I need you. It's a series, but you can start with the first book in the series called The Go Giver. You've heard of The Go Getter?
Yes.
This is The Go Giver. You know, you want to get that book so you can understand our relationship to the cycle of creating money in the life. It is actually through giving. The more value you give, the more money comes to you. So there's 5 laws in that book. And here's one of the laws. One of the laws is what is that law? Oh, here it is. It is your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Now, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it does. Okay, because all kinds of things start happening when you serve people well. Do you know not only will they pay you for your services, they will be your biggest cheerleaders and bring you more business.
Excellent.
Oh man, those two books. All right. And so I may have something else for you a little later when I think about it. I've got one more book in mind, but I can't think of it right now, but I will, and I'll get back to you on it. So Is there anything else? So now tell us what it is that you do.
I'm a realtor.
Okay. He's a realtor, folks. He's a realtor. All right. And when did you get licensed?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And have you had any success in selling real estate?
Not really yet.
Okay. And don't tell us who your broker is, but are they providing for you support?
They are. They're starting to,
Oh,
because I'm reaching out to them.
very good. Very good.
I work as part of a team number 3 in the state for this broker.
Okay.
And there's only 5 of us on the team. So it's a good team. I just need to get it into me.
Okay.
So I'm asking for it.
All right. So you're starting to ask for it. I'm telling you, there's something in the Bible that says, seek and you will find.
Yes.
Knock and it shall be open unto you.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Have you worked with one of the realtors on your team that's doing very well, just to shadow them and say, what are you doing? Let me go out with you. Let me take some notes.
Well, no, I haven't done that.
Ooh, that would be, do you think somebody would say, sure, come along? What do you think?
I think so.
I think so too. You know, success leaves footprints. So if I want to do something, so here's the best way to do it. Okay. There's two ways to ask. And I'm going to give you both ways. One way is, may I come along and tag along and learn from you? All right. That's one way to ask. A second way to ask, while you're out doing your thing, is there something I can do for you to help you?
Well, I've already been doing that.
There you go. All right. And that's why it's beginning to work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're giving value. First of all, you're starting out with you're not starting out with an ask. You're starting out with a give. All right. And now it's that information is starting to come back to you. Oh man. Listen, I'm getting excited already.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. Listen, Sandy, I want to thank you for coming up to the stage and asking that. So
thank you.
All right. And when I think of that other book, I will, let's see, I think the guy's name is Miller, but let me think of that other book and make sure you get that as well.
Okay.
All right.
That'd be great. Yes.
All right. So listen, folks, do anybody that's listening either online or in Clubhouse, do you have a book or a resource to suggest to Sandy? And if so, let's put it in the chat. Let's see what we can do. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, folks, listen, this is what we're talking about today. I see some folks in the audience there that I recognize. I want to say good morning to everyone. And let me see here. And I see some people that are regulars now. And let's see, we've got Eric in the house. We've got Armin in the house. All right. Steve is back. And I also want to say good morning to Anthony and Byron. Oh, and Stephanie's out there, and Dustin. And Josephina, CM is a part of is part of the crowd today. Arpit, Tracy, Dorothy, Carlithia, Yvette, Vess, Jeanette, Shante, and Shalika. Thank you very much. So, folks, where are you from? Where are you guys from? I need to go ahead and report where you're from. I got Armin. He says good morning on YouTube from Palatine, Illinois, near Chicago. So where are you guys from? All right. So we got Stephanie from New Jersey, and Stephanie Fulton says hi. She's from New Jersey. Carlitha is from Dallas. Oh man, I've been to Dallas. All right. I kind of like Dallas. All right. So folks, listen, go ahead and report where you're from. Also, while you're at it, will you please share the room? If you're on Clubhouse, if you're watching us online, go ahead and share as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What we're talking about today is how to get free, how to understand what's going on with borrowing money, and why is it looked at as that borrowing makes you a slave to the lender. All right. This is taken from the Bible, folks. Borrowing is a slave to the lender, makes you a slave to the lender. And we want to drill down and say, why does that happen? Why does it happen? What is the power of borrowing money that makes you a slave to the lender? And I want to preface that this morning. There is a way to borrow money that doesn't make you a slave, but it is not well known. So for the most part, most of us borrowing money, we're a slave. Here's how I know this. Let me give you a couple of things. 9 out of 10 people, 90% of the people you know, will never be debt free. Their entire working and retirement life, they're paying off debt. So, folks, let me ask you, if that's the case, if that really is the case, are we a slave to the lender if we are paying off debt our entire life? Our entire adult life, we're paying on debt. 9 out of 10 people you know will never be out of debt. That's number one. Let me tell you what about the average family. The average family pays 35 to 39% of their take-home pay on interest payments alone. Not the entire payment, just the interest payments. And these are families that do very well. Can we do very well financially, go on vacations every year, and drive what we want to drive, have low utilization on our credit cards, and do everything else financially right? But can we still be a borrower that is a slave to the lender, even though we're doing well financially, if we never get out of debt, even though we're doing well financially? You know, there are people like that. Credit Goddess, I see you're here. What's going on?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Listen, we just went over, asked the question, is it possible to be financially well off, doing practically everything else right, and still be a slave to debt and never get out of debt, even though you're doing very well with your income?
Yep.
What do you mean? Have you seen it?
I mean, I've heard it. People, especially if they do not apply your method, they'll be a slave to debt. And I hear you say this all the time, especially with like real estate investors when they have properties, and you'll show them this method and they'll say, well, I have other people paying the mortgage, so I don't have to. But it's like, okay, but you're still going to carry on the payments, pay all this high interest because someone else is paying it.
Mm-hmm.
But without understanding that you're going to be saving, and you already talked about the unintentional blindness,
Right.
So if they're not touching the money, they're just pretty much giving away the money. And I feel like that's still slaving, having to come up with payments every month until it's paid off, when you can just cut it in a short period of time. So that's, yeah, just paying attention. People are still enslaved to their debts. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that. So listen, somebody else raised their hand and I'm trying to get them up here. Josephina, I'm trying to invite you up. So if you see that, invite to speak. If you see that, just go ahead and click on in and come on up here with us. There she is. Josephina, how are you doing?
I'm still trying to understand that. Well, in my case, it's something that I live day by day because I am a little bit of like a loan shark for about maybe 11 years. And I have a raft of at least um, 60 people that they are my best customers. I call them my A plus because that they finish one, and before they finish one, they come for the next one.
Okay,
Amount.
let's stop right
And I
there,
feel like,
Josephina. Josephina, can you stop right there? Because I want to make sure I'm understanding and everybody understands what you're doing. You lend money to others.
right,
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
Small
So
amount, small amount.
small amounts. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead. Finish up.
Yes, I know. I had noticed, and my kid, for instance, my kid said, "Mom, but this lady is always calling you," and I said, "Well, but I, the way I understand it is, they somehow they no, then I mean I don't want to say it sounds ugly, but I tell my kids because I want to teach them also not to fall into that crack. They live in a very disorganized life, and now that's the rough way I can see it. And there's many reasons, and it's sad, but that's how it is. It's like you always find in that case. You always find a reason why to go back to the loan, and if you don't find it, you look for it.
Uh-huh. So that's their focus. So their focus on handling their financial situations is I'm going to borrow money because it's kind of a last resort. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I try to see it like that, but it's. I mean, I in my what teach me, what had taught me that I don't borrow money. I try not to owe money. I mean, it's like I'm. It doesn't make me feel any better like anybody else. But I said like I had never buy. I don't buy furniture on credit. I don't buy whatever I don't have. I don't pay it right away. I don't need to buy it in credit because I don't like to pay interest. For me, interest is something that I would now that I am in like starting in flipping in real estate. I'm knowing this avenue. In that case, I think it makes sense because if my if the property will pay the interest. And it's interesting, like because the first comment was that I said, okay, even though the property is paying for the interest or the tenants are paying for the interest, the money is not coming in abundant to me. So I like that. That was a lesson to me right there. I love uh, the credit guidance was the one that made the comments. I guess it was a lesson right through, and this is why I wanted to be the second because it's so many different reasons why people always we fall into like I need to borrow. When the reason is not there, we look for it. We search for that reason. That's what I the only way I see it. And me um as a person that does this lending money, I try not to find a reason to borrow money to buy something in credit. If I don't have it, I just recently moved. I haven't buy my bed. I said like, well, I can sleep in the old place until I buy my bed because I want to buy it. I don't want to buy a credit.
Got you. So listen, you've mentioned two things. I want to start with one of them. Your clients, do they ever share with you why they are borrowing the money or the purpose for which they're borrowing the money? Do they ever share that with you?
I usually try to know because I want to know if it makes sense. Like I don't lend money for to celebrate birthday party. I don't lend money for like certain things that because that's meaningless. And I had noticed in my experience that when it's something, it's like a quick, let's say it's like a quick enjoyment. After it's gone, it's a pain, and I don't want them to have a pain to pay me. I want to like to pay the rent, to like send the kid to college or whatever. That's a good reason. So the customer is more faithful to pay that loan quick and more steady than if it's for an enjoyment.
Ah, okay. So you're saying that you don't necessarily if I want to buy a big screen TV, are you going to lend me money?
No,
Okay.
I would tell you right that you don't need that. You can buy a used one.
Oh wow. Okay, well that's great. That's great. And then the second thing you said you don't like to pay interest. What does interest have to do with this?
Well, I see because some people I have people that they pay me interest for a whole year, just interest. I have a customer right now that she's for the last 3 years she only paying interest.
Wait a minute.
2 weeks she
Wait,
paid me
wait,
my
wait.
money already.
Wait a minute. They're only paying the interest on the loan. They're not paying the loan back.
Yes.
Okay.
I, it doesn't make me any happy. But like we're going into 3 years. She already gave me that $5,000 many times. But I tell her, listen, that's your choice. You still owe me my money.
I got you. I got you. And listen,
And I guess the bank is the same.
the bank is
doesn't
exactly the same. The bank is
Yes.
exactly the same.
Yes.
All right. The
Yes.
bank is exactly the same. And this is why we're talking about, folks, that it's not necessarily the money borrowed. It's the interest on the money that keeps us enslaved forever. And this is a classic example, folks, of interest keeping somebody locked into that debt for what, at least 5 years?
At least, yes.
And it's going to continue until the principal is paid back.
To me, that deteriorates your mind too.
Okay. All
It's
right.
mind consuming. It's energy consuming. It doesn't make you feel any good or any proud of yourself. So that's why I try myself not to fall into that.
Listen, folks, banks do exactly the same thing. So if there was a way, now I'm going to ask some questions here, and I need all my folks on the stage to help me out. And if you're in the audience and you want to come up and help answer some of these questions, that's going to be great. So it seems to me, if you're going to borrow money and you want to be faithful in paying it back, let's say you're a good customer, you're borrowing money, you want to be faithful in paying it back. If you could borrow money at 0 interest, would that be a good loan? What do you guys think?
I buy 0 interest.
Oh.
I mean, I bought, for instance, and now there's a way how they get you. Like you have 6 months to pay, and if you don't pay, then they charge you all the interest. I do that.
You
I
do
do
that
that for my glasses, like something that I really need, and then I just try to make use of that opportunity, but I don't let him get me.
Okay. So if we could borrow money at 0% interest, that would be a good thing. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess so. Because
All
then
right,
you get
so-
to cover your needs and you don't get to pay the interest.
All right. So here's where we're talking about, folks. If you can't borrow money at 0 interest, then what you want to do is be able to know the rules of the game so that you can borrow money as close to 0 interest as mathematically possible. If I can't get 0 interest, I want to pay as little interest as possible. And there is a way to do that. Josephina, what do you think about it? This is not your first time in my room, is it?
No, it's not. I follow you every time I see you. I try to, because to me, you are a Bible. I really admire you.
Well, thank you so very much for that. So, folks, here's what we're talking about. We want you to know, we don't want you to fall into that trap so that you're there forever. All right. And there is a way to keep you there forever. But if you want to borrow money, all right, and you can't get it at 0%, let's borrow it at a deep discount. And Sandy, this is for you as well. As you are looking at, Sandy, as you are looking at trying to have money come in, all right, the debt that you have now, it is possible for you to pay a lot less interest on the debt, even though you've already contracted to pay it back. You can pay them a lot less interest. Sandy, are you still online?
Yes.
Would you like to know how you can pay a lot less interest than you're paying now, so more of your money would go to the principal, and that's how you intended to pay the bill, to pay the debt back anyway, isn't it?
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
So, folks, Sandy, if you are on stage, listen, if you guys want to see what I'm getting ready to show, first I'm going to show the reason why we are in debt. All right. And I'm going to show you the rules to the game so that you can get yourself out of debt with your current income. What do you guys think?
It's just interesting.
I like that.
All right. So Josephine, if you go ahead and go on mute, I'm going to put some things on the screen and we're going to show just that. Let me pull this up and we're going to go over why interest is the way. Now, the Bible calls it usury. All right. The Bible calls it usury. And And actually, this whole idea of the debt, being in debt, makes you a slave to the lender. I took that from a text out of the Bible. And so the interest is certainly the problem, right? The interest is the problem, not necessarily the debt. Okay. So, because the money that Josephina just talked about, she has a client that for the past 5 years has just paid just the interest on the debt. And if that money was applied to principal, the debt would have been eliminated long ago. Let's see what's going on with this interest money. Let's see what we can do to get rid of it. So, if you want to see these examples that I'm getting ready to put on the screen, folks, if you want to see them, then what you want to do is please go to YouTube. All right, go to YouTube, and so that we can share with you what's going on with this whole situation, so you can go see, so that you can actually see my screen when I put this up on put these examples up. So let me go ahead and let me see. I'm already sharing the one of the screens here. I just need to put up where is it? There it is. All right. Let me pull this over here. Let me put this screen over here. There we go. And I need you. Oops. All right, watch this. So we're putting this up. All right, so I'm sharing a screen right now, and then I'm going to go to the good part, because I know where the good parts are. All right, so we're going to skip to the good parts, and we are going to take a look at what's going on here with this debt. All right, so we're going to go over the basics here of P.I.L.L method, and if you want to see this, go to YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, search P.I.L.L method. And you can see this: prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. Those are the 4 basic tenets that we need to pay less interest on our loans. Pay less interest. That's after they're established. And I'll tell you why, because here is the formula that the banks use, or anybody who charges interest on an amortization schedule. They are using this formula to charge interest. Well, there is a way to undo that formula so you don't have to pay all of that interest. We just need to know the rules of the game. So if the banks are using this formula to charge interest, where is your formula or your algorithm to cut interest cost? Folks, it is not about the interest rate. Don't get fooled into that. We focus on interest rate so that we will not pay attention to interest cost. Don, what's the difference? Interest rate tells us that is part of the formula that produces the cost of the interest that we pay each month. In my book, I call it interest consumption. Interest consumption is what I call it. All right. All right. So if you don't know what your interest consumption is and how the banks produce the interest you're consuming, you can't do anything about it, because we're not looking over there. We're only looking at the interest rate, but we're not adding up how much interest we're actually paying each month. Isn't that something? We don't do that. And I think we should. So if you want to know more about this, we need a formula. We need a formula to cut interest costs. So let me go over with you. Here's what bank owners do not want you to know. And why do I talk about bank owners not wanting you to know? So that you will focus on where the problem really lies. It is not with the loan officers. Bank owners don't teach loan officers how loans actually work. They just teach them how to sell loans. They don't teach them how they work and how they could give you information on how you can pay a lot less interest once you know the rules. Here it is. Amortized interest is deceptive. Now, the way these loans have been amortized, meaning what is the schedule that we pay back the loan so that we're paying a lot of interest and a little bit of principal? That started, amortizing 30-year loans started in 1934. It is 89 years old this year. Okay, so this is what's going on. All right. And what we want to do is figure out what is going on with that so that we don't have to pay that. Why are we slaves to debt?
Hey, Don.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off. I know you're on a roll, but I'm getting your presenter view.
Yeah.
I'm getting presenter view, not the presentation.
Oh, you're getting presenter view. Uh-oh. Hold on.
See.
Let me fix. Listen, thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Let me fix it.
Good morning, everybody. This is Kirk. I get a chance to serve as Don's producer for the show. So that's how we are able to stream on all the different platforms. So just trying to make sure that you guys are having the best experience. I see 11 of you online. I know several more of you guys are on Clubhouse, and I'm coming through Don's microphone. I'm in StreamYard with Don, and we are simulcasting to multiple platforms today. So just wanting to make sure that everybody can see. If you can't see, if you're in Clubhouse and you're just listening and you have another device, head on over to YouTube. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, but I'm biased to YouTube. So head on over to YouTube and just search P.I.L.L Method. Don's lovely face will come up. Click on that, and you'll see one of them that says live. So make sure you hit that one. But if you while you're on your way in, you may as well hit the subscribe button as well. And just like that, Don's already got this thing figured out. He's got the proper slideshow up, and I can go ahead and fade back into the background.
And listen, folks, I want you to know, if it weren't for Kirk Nugent, I wouldn't know how to do this.
Hey, it's a team effort, man. I love what Don does, and I'm glad that he's able to use and leverage live video in this way to really create an engaging experience, but also allow people to be educated and entertained at the same time. So, Don, kudos to you, Doc.
Thank you very much. So, folks, if you're new to the room and you want to see what's going on, go over to YouTube on a secondary device, click on and listen. Go ahead and subscribe as well, just as Kirk was talking about. So, folks, here we are. The interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. I need you to really zone in on that. Why are we in debt forever? Because the interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. And let me give you a quick example of that right now. So let's get into this. All right. Here's a $500,000 mortgage. Here's a $500,000 mortgage at 6%. I'm sorry, 3%. Only 3%. All right. And when we do that at 3%, we're going to pay back over 30 years $258,887.20. Sandy, I need you to help me because I think this is your first time here. Would you mind helping me?
I guess so.
All right. So are you able to see my screen as well on a secondary device?
I am doing that.
Excellent. So Sandy, I got some questions. If you see here that we're supposed to, and being a realtor, you see this all the time, but as $258,000 interest on a $500,000 loan, does that look like 3% to you?
It looks like a lot more to me.
It looks like a lot more to me too. It's actually 51.777%. So when you have a 3% loan for 30 years on a mortgage, you're going to pay back at least 51% of what you borrowed. Now, is there anybody out there, is anybody in your brokerage telling your clients this, Sandy, that 3% really means 51%. So be careful. Anybody telling them that?
Absolutely not.
Why, Sandy, why not?
Well, if you want to be a non-existent broker, that's a good thing to tell people.
Okay. So what if we told them something like this, Sandy? Listen, here are your disclosures that you're going to receive 3 days from now. Okay. And then I'm going to point out that in that disclosure that you're going to receive 3 days before closing. All right. That you're going to see this interest rate, but you're going to see the total interest paid as a percentage of principal. You're going to see that. I can share with you how you can cut that way down so you don't have to pay all of that interest. Would you be interested?
That would be a really good sales tool.
Oh my goodness. Now you're talking, Sandy. Now you're talking. Okay. So let's get into this. What's really going on behind the scenes. Okay. Because man, I love being able to tell people this. Now I want to go over one more just to show you what's really going on behind the scenes that not even the realtors or the customers know. And Sandy, you took you got your license in real estate. Was this part gone over to understand how mortgages really work and how you can help your clients do better? Was that gone over at all? No. All right. So this is going to be all new information to you, Sandy. So here's what we're talking about. Here's what's happening with these loans. Here's a $500,000 loan at 4%. Now we're going to pay back $359,348.80. So folks, even at 4%, we're not paying $500,000 for a $500,000 home. We're paying $859,000 for a $500,000 home in a $500,000 neighborhood. That's what's happening here. So if you're a real estate agent and you can help your clients pay a lot less interest, do you believe that you can set yourself apart? Oh my gosh, that
absolutely.
Is absolutely, he says. So now at 5%, all right, now it's actually 93% of what you borrowed. $466,000 is what you're signing up for, even at 5%. All right. And it's almost as much as you borrowed. At 6%, we're actually paying back more in interest now, all right, than we borrowed in principal, $579,000. Do you see what I mean when I say the interest rate you're quoted is not the interest you end up paying?
Right.
Okay. And are we seeing 7% interest rates right about now, Sandy?
Pretty close.
All right, here it is. 7%, $679,000 in interest on this loan. All right, 679,000. That's 139.5%. It's listed in the paperwork just like this. It's just not pointed out. We don't dwell on it.
It's very small type.
There you go. See, there it is. It's there. It's there. It has to be revealed. So if we want to help our clients, remember in the beginning, I said there was a book that says if you want to increase your income, then serve people and serve them well. There's no limit to the income you can have if you're serving a lot of people and serving them well. So let's understand how to read this thing. Now, here is some of the information that's in the paperwork that you will receive when you get your mortgage, and you're signing all of these papers when you're signing to get a 30-year loan, all right, paying interest that you'll never pay off, all right, and we're going to get into why that is in just a minute. But this is part of the paperwork that we don't dwell on. And this is important stuff. It is your right, the borrower's right to prepay. That's in your mortgage papers right there. You have the right to prepay. And I need you to understand, we've already went over why you're a slave to the lender. Let's talk about now how to get out, how to understand the rules to the game. And the rules to the game are right there in front of you. They always have been there, but no one teaches us how the rules work. All right. So until today, here we are. I have the right to make prepayments of principal at any time before they are due. A payment of principal only is known as a prepayment. Here's what I'm saying. If you give the bank money before it's due, you pay no interest on that money. It all goes to principal before it's due.
That's automatic.
Automatic.
I don't have to tell them. They don't even have to acknowledge it.
Well, here's the thing. If you have an escrow account,
right,
and you give them that money, Sandy,
yeah,
without doing it their way, the default is to put that extra money in the escrow account. That's the default on most banks. But if you are paying your own taxes and insurance, there's only one place to put that extra money: on the principal.
Well, I have my mortgage.
Yes.
They give me an option to pay the bill, then to pay extra towards principal.
There you go. So
that's where I would pay it instead of paying it.
Exactly. Correctly. Now, do you have that line? Now, is that like if you pay it online?
I usually pay it on the phone. I like to just do it on the phone. I don't like to pay bills online.
There you go. So if you go on the phone, if you call them up, and let's say you pay your mortgage, let's say you're paying your mortgage on the 1st, okay?
Right.
You could actually call them up on the 17th and say, I want to apply something extra to principal.
Right.
You could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. There you go. So, and you've done it before.
I have.
Okay. So here's my question about that. Okay.
Yeah.
When they receive that extra money, did anyone send you a receipt saying, thank you very much for that extra money? Here's how much interest you just saved.
Did not. I don't remember getting anything.
What? So you gave them the money so that you could pay off faster and save interest, correct?
Correct.
But you don't know how many days you cut off, or weeks or months you cut off. You have no idea how much interest you saved.
Right.
This is in the bank's. This benefits them when you don't know. Do you know banking is the only business I know of that we as consumers give money and we have no idea what we just bought?
Right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So not only do they not tell us, we are conditioned to be okay with not even asking.
Right.
It never occurred to you to ask, did it?
Well, it never was a thought in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that's due to marketing. That's due to conditioning. That's the way it's supposed to be if the bank wants to continue doing what they're doing. Because there is a weakness in their system that is so powerful for the consumer, they can't afford to let you know, Sandy.
Okay.
They can't afford it. It is so simple. I'm going to show it to you right now, and I'll show it to everybody. If I can just get you guys to help me out here and put in the chat, put some number 9s in the chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and put some number 9s in the comment section. I want to know how many people want to know how to be free from the shackles, from the chains of being locked into your debt forever. If you want to know, put some number 9s in the chat. I'm going to show you how to read an amortization schedule. And this is not the P.I.L.L method. I'm just showing you some of the basics that anybody who watches any of my videos can share with their family, their clients. All right. So whoever somebody needs to mute their mic. Okay. They can share with their family, their friends, and clients. Okay. So we're going to show you something right here, right now. I'm going to put on. Oh, I see the number 9s coming in online, and the younger family is back in the building. How you doing, younger family? I love seeing you guys here. And Jennifer says 9. Maria says 9. Obadiah says 9. Sandy says 9. Okay, so folks, that is enough for me to go ahead and start sharing. Jennifer says 9. All right, all right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and put something on the screen. And here it is. It's a $200,000 mortgage at 6% interest. All right. And I want you all to know, I want you to know that the higher interest rates for what I'm getting ready to show you, the higher interest rates are actually better for you than the lower interest rates. Write it down. Somebody write that down, because I get going, and sometimes I forget to come back to some important issues. So if I forget to talk about why a higher interest rate is actually better, oh my goodness. But I do want to preface it with this. Keep this in mind. I got to get a drink of water. Hold on just a second. Okay, so keep this in mind. Everything you've ever been taught about how to best handle a loan, best practices, 99.9% of it at the P.I.L.L method will probably teach you to do the exact opposite. What? Yeah. The reason why we're in debt forever is not because we are irresponsible. The vast majority of us are in debt forever because we're actually following information that is called best practices on how to handle debt. We're there because we're obedient to what we've heard and what we've been conditioned to practice. I want to show you what I mean today. Here we go, folks. Here it is. We are getting into this thing right now. And I want to show you, and listen, and at any time you want to come to the stage and ask a question, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and keep sharing this room, folks. If you're on Clubhouse, if you are watching us online, go ahead and share it to your community as well. Here it is. The bank wants on this loan $200,000. I'm borrowing $200,000 at 6%. By the time I'm done, or if I'm ever done, I'm going to pay at least $231,676 in interest. The reason why I say I'm going to pay that at least that much is because 9 out of 10 people you know will never pay off a mortgage. Therefore, they're going to be in that loan probably longer than 30 years and never pay it off. So they're going to pay this amount of interest and even more. Josephina, you see, you think that this only happens with you, but it's been happening to the majority of Americans since 1934. That they're going to pay more interest than they signed up for because they'll never pay off the mortgage, even if they have it for 30 years. A lot of people that I talk to now, their parents still have a mortgage and their grandparents still have a mortgage. And they don't want to be in that position. So we're paying at least $431,000 here. All right. For that house. All right. And the total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 115.838%, not 6%, 115%. That's what's going on. Now we're going to teach you how to read an amortization schedule. And Sandy, this is what I need your help. Okay. So you can unmic now. You can unmute.
Okay, but I have to go. I've got a client calling me.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Come back when your client calls you when you're done with the call. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. So when you're done, just break in, Sandy. Just break in and interrupt me. So here's what I was going to ask Sandy. Okay, that how much principal are you paying on line 1 of this? It's $199.10. How much interest are you paying? $1,000. So folks, do you see already why we're going to be in debt forever when I'm paying $11.99.10 and only $199.10 goes to principal, the part that I borrowed, and $1,000 of my payment goes to interest. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? So let me go ahead and show you something here, folks. I'm going to bring up a calculator. I'm going to put this on the screen. I'm going to show you the numbers here. Okay. So if you have $1,000 going to interest, okay, you have $1,000 going to interest, and you take the entire payment, all right, and you divide it by the entire payment, which is 11. Let's say 1,100. Let's say $11.99.10. All right, $1,199.10. Okay, so we're going to divide it by that. We see that 83% of your payment is going to interest. If we broke that down per payment dollar, here is what it really means. 83 cents out of every dollar going to this mortgage just pays interest. 17 cents pays back the loan. One more time. 83 cents. You give $1 to the bank. 83 cents of that dollar has gone to interest. Does not do anything to help pay down the loan. Only 17 cents out of that dollar pays back the loan. Does anybody want to know how you can turn that around? Does anybody want to know how to do that? So that you can actually give money to the bank, all right? So that you can switch that around, because it's math. I want to give the bank the 17 cents, and I want to keep the 83 cents. If you want to know that, put a yes in the chat. I want to know how I can turn this around. Okay, simply and easily using the weakness that is inherent in this system. Go ahead, put yes in the chat. I want to see it. If you're online, go ahead and put yes. Josephina wants to see it. Okay, yes. I see it online. So here's how it goes, folks. Here it is. All right. So if let's just pretend we're just made January's payment. Payment number 1 is January's payment. I made January's payment, and when I did, the $199.10 was subtracted from what I owe. $199. So I'm left with $199,800.90. Karen says, "I want to know how to turn it around." She says she's watching us on YouTube. All right, Karen, tell us where you're from on YouTube. I'd love to know that. So she wants to know how this works. So if I have this, all right, I just made January's payment, February's principal payment, next month's principal payment is $200.10. Remember when we read a little while ago that if I give the bank, I can give the bank money ahead of time, anytime I want, and none of that money goes to interest. It all goes to principal. Karen is tuning in from Orlando. Okay, thank you for being here this morning. Okay, folks, so you don't have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10. So if we did wait till February, this is what happens. Let's say we did wait till February. $200.10 would go to principal. $9.99 would go to interest because we owe less money, and we'd be paid down to $199,600.80. That's what would happen if we were to wait till February. But if we're in January and we give the bank this $200.10 in January, we're giving it to them early. Guess what? We're paid down to line 2 in January, because all $200.10 goes to principal in January. And I need you to really, really listen to me right here. Line 2 has been eliminated from your mortgage with just $200.10 because you're already paid down to line 2 in January. So your next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3. Wow. Line 3. So if we're on line 3, folks, if we're on line 3, what just happened? I just gave the bank $200.10 early, paid down to line 2 early. And what happened? Line 2 has been eliminated. And do you see that $999 on line 2? That's what happened to it. $999 has just been eliminated from your loan. You never have to pay that. Sandy, let me know when you're back. Okay. So this is amazing. How do I get out of debt early? I just gave the bank $200.10 early that I was supposed to give them in February. Just for that, I just eliminated one line from my schedule. So folks, am I paying off the loan faster? Am I getting out of debt faster? Am I getting out of debt cheaper? Oh my goodness. You see, every time you pay money to your loan, you're getting equity. If I wait till February to give the bank the $200.10, I will get the $200.10 in equity. But I just got, and I would have to pay $999 in interest to get that equity. Here's what I need to ask you right now. That's what I need to ask you. If I give the bank the $200.10 early, did I get my equity for free? If you believe I just got my equity for free by giving it to them early, I need you to put free in the chat. Put free in there. If you believe I just got it for free, put free in. Free. I need you to put it in. All right, Jennifer believes it. I got it for free. Listen, do you want to pay $999 to get your $200 in equity, or do you want to get your $200.10 equity for free? Josephina says free. Okay, listen, folks. I want to get my stuff for free. I want to turn this around. All right. Lamode and Found was watching us on YouTube says, I want to get mine for free too. I want to get it for free. Man, oh man. Just let it sink in for a minute. So Jennifer says, where can I see what you are doing on YouTube? Jennifer, go to YouTube on a secondary device like your computer or your laptop or like iPad or something. Okay. Then find YouTube, and then in the search P.I.L.L method, and you will see our live. You can click on there. You may have to, wait for the commercial to play and then skip the commercial, but then you'll see what we've got going on. All right. I hope that's helpful, Jennifer. Josephina says, I'm not at home. So listen, you've seen it already. Josephina, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. So folks, here's the next thing I want to show. All right. This thing is so powerful. You think you've learned something already? If this is the first time you've been in the room, you think this is powerful? Wait till I show you this. And here's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to do a little bit more math so that you can turn this whole thing around with just a few bucks. Okay, here's what we're doing. I'm now making my mortgage payment on the 1st of January. I'm looking at my bank account and I have some money in savings. Let's say I have a few bucks in savings. And I'm making 0.1% interest. How many looked at your statement from your savings account and saw how many pennies the bank gave you? Did you see that? Did you see those pennies that they gave you? Let me show you what you could do and how to really think about these loans. This is how you do it. I'm going to show you what would happen if I took a little money out of the bank. I'm going to make my regular mortgage payment in January, and then I'm going to pay $200.10, $201.10, and $202.10. Those are the principal payments on line 2, 3 and 4 of my amortization schedule. That's $603.30. That right now in my bank account, I'm making 0.1% on. So let me borrow some of that money from myself. Let me apply it to this loan. And guess what happens when I do? Yeah, that part. I just killed nearly $3,000 in interest I never have to pay with that money. Are you all seeing that? Are you all seeing that? Wow, wow, wow. That is amazing. That's $2,997 in interest I just saved. Let me show you what your return on investment would be. I'm putting that on the screen, okay? So we're showing you what that happened. I just paid $600, and I got a benefit of $2,997 in interest I don't have to pay. Benjamin Franklin said, "A penny saved is a penny earned." Do you believe that? So how about nearly $3,000 saved? Is that $3,000 earned? Oh my goodness. 2,000. I'm putting it in here. $2,997. Okay. All right. That's how much interest I just saved. I'm going to divide it by what I paid in advance. I took money out of my savings account. I paid it to the mortgage in advance. All right. And said, apply this to principal. So I'm going to divide it by my $603.30. Divided by $603.30. Look what I get. I get 4.967. If I move that decimal point over here, that means I just got a return on my money of 497% return on my money. Where else can you invest money like this? Do you see the weakness in the system? Do you see why the banks don't even teach it to their employees? Do you see why this information is not taught in junior high, high school, college? You're not getting it in your advanced courses. You're not getting it in grad school. If you're a CPA, you don't even get this. If you're a financial planner, you don't get this. If you're a loan officer, you don't get this. I just gave the bank a little over $600, applied it to my mortgage, and I got a benefit at 497% return on my money, nearly 500%. When is the last time you invested money in something and instantly got a 500% return? This is the weakness in the system that they're using to make trillions of dollars, but they can only make it if you never find out how it works. Oh man, I got to come back. Do I have anybody who wants to come to the stage and talk about this? I see you, CM. I see you. Let's bring you up to the stage. All right. Invite you to speak. CM, come on up. Oops, can't come right now. All right. Maybe later. All right. Sorry about that. I wish you could. Anybody else? Go ahead and raise your hand and come up to the stage, and you can see what's going on. And so if you can't come to the stage, at least go ahead on Clubhouse and share the room. All right, share the room. Let's get some more folks in here. So we just learned how to get nearly a 500% return on our money so that we can get out of debt faster and not be enslaved to debt forever, because the problem is not the money you borrowed. The problem is the interest you are paying, not the interest rate, the interest cost. So here's what it says here, folks. I'm going to put up our next slide. Our next slide says this. Write it down. Focus on interest cost, not interest rate. Don, get this off the screen so people can read it. Focus on interest cost, not interest rate. So we have never been told to focus on interest cost. Listen, we're so focused on interest rate, we can't even focus on the cost. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. So if we don't care about that, then we won't see and understand what I'm getting ready to show you. If you understand interest cost, then you will understand every single penny you have matters. And I want to share with you someone who has understood that. He understands it now. He is the #1 motivational speaker in the entire world. His name is Eric Thomas. And Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher, discovered the P.I.L.L method is a way so that he could use every single penny. And find out what is the least amount he can pay to kill the largest amount of interest so he can pay his loan off faster. And he says his home life improved as a result of it. Let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas right now.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
So folks, let me tell you something. This part that you're hearing right now, Eric Thomas received this information, but he received a whole lot more. He received not just the basics, he received an entire program including our AI system, artificially intelligent, cloud-based computing system, artificially intelligent, that tells you how much money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move it on, so that you can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar. Oh yeah. We call it the opportunity cost calculator. OCC, opportunity cost calculator, that looks at all of your information, financial information, and says, based on what you're doing here is the best thing for you to do in this month, on this day of the month, with this much money to the penny. Yes. I'm going to show you in a minute the power of the penny. So folks, here's what you need to know. All right. I had an opportunity to give him my book. All right. Dr. Eric Thomas has written several books. I was able to autograph a book and put it in his hand. All right. And I think that was a big deal. That was a big deal for me and my wife. We were able to give it to him. So we want to put that on the screen. Let's go ahead and put the book on the screen. And then I'm going to give you a track to run on. All right. Get the book today and share this not only with your family, but with your children. All right. Start training them up. Okay. Train up a child in the way that they should go, and they will not depart from it, especially when it comes to their money. Oh my gosh. We need to learn how to handle our money. All right. So this book is the only book out of 33 million titles on Amazon that goes over this information, just to give you the basics and talk about the tools you will need to accomplish your financial goals, not just to save money on interest and pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years, but also how to create generational wealth with the interest you're no longer paying the bank. Oh man. So if you want to know the month, day, and year you want to be debt free and how you can get your own opportunity cost calculator, then I'm going to put my my information on the screen. So let's go ahead and put this on Clubhouse, and it is my digital card. All right. And it is ICE, stands for Interest Cancellation Expert, ICE 10K And you go to ice10k.com, click on where it says get a savings and earnings report, fill out all of the information. And once you fill out that information, you will be let into our financial form. Tell us about all the debt, the interest rates, the minimum payments, and a little bit about your income. Excuse me. And we'll be able to tell you the month, day, and year you'll be debt free in an average of 7 to 9 years. Folks, I'm telling you the truth. Not only your mortgage, but that includes the student loans, that includes the credit cards, that includes the car loans, everything in an average of 7 to 9 years, because we're going to tell you how to use the power of the penny to disrupt the bank's timing, which makes it impossible for them to charge you all of that interest and keep you chained to your debt forever. If you want to break the chain, I want to get ready to show you something right now to break the chain. Okay. And if you get excited about this, I want to share with you how you can share it with others in just a few minutes. So hang on tight. So let's go ahead and let's get back to the presentation. I want to just check and see if anybody else is raising their hand and wants to come up to the stage. All right. Come on up to the stage. All right. And ask your question or put into your 2 cents. In the meantime, continue to share it out there so that folks can see. I want you to see right now the power of a penny. Just a few pennies. We just learned a few minutes ago that if I put $200 early on that $200,000 mortgage, I save nearly $1,000 in interest. $1,000 for a $200 investment. Where else can you do that? Invest $200 and get a benefit of $1,000? How many of you would do that? If you're new to the room, go to YouTube so you can see what we're saying. Go to YouTube and search P.I.L.L method, and on a secondary device like your laptop or your tablet, and you can see what we're talking about. $200 saves you $1,000. So what if I don't have $200, Don? What if I have half that money? $100. $100 applied to this mortgage saves $500 in interest. In other words, to pay the loan down by $100 the bank's way, they want to charge you $500 interest just to pay back your loan for $100. Folks, how fair is that? Is that unfair? I'm trying to pay back my loan the best way I know how, and you want to charge me $500 to give you $100? Well, let me learn how to give you $100 where it makes it impossible for you to charge me $500. What do you guys say about that, huh? All right, Danny Jack is here from watching us on YouTube, and what Danny is saying. Greetings. I joined a little late. We are only paying the principal payment before interest is included. So listen, Danny, I'm glad that you're doing that, but I also want you to know that you can optimize your interest savings. There's a certain amount of money that you can pay so that you can save a lot more interest when you know exactly how much to pay, what month to pay it in, because you don't do it every month, what day to pay it on, and which loan to attack, so that you can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. Oh, man, that is the way to go. That's why you use the OCC, to save the maximum amount of interest, not just save some interest. Let me show you this. Let's continue. $50 can save you $2.50. $12.50. $12.50. This is why most people don't know to get out of debt cheaper and faster, because they think that small amounts of money don't matter. They do matter. $12.50 can save you $75 in interest. And Don, why is that important? Because doing it the bank's way, to pay down your loan by $12.50, they want to charge you $75. That's why. Give them the $12.50 and make it impossible for them to charge you the $75. So listen, do you see on my screen where $3.13 will save you $18.75? Do you see that? This is how we need to start thinking about our loans. How do we eliminate interest cost? So if you gave me $3.13 and I gave you back $18.75, how many times would you guys do that? How many times would you receive $18.75 from me and all you had to do is give me $3.13? You would never stop. And I would also have to give you that money. Do you realize the bank has to do the same thing? You give them $3.13. It makes it impossible for them to charge you the $18.75 they would have charged. This is how you turn it around, by knowing what you get for your money. You have to know. You can't optimize what you can't measure. And folks, we have the tools that help you to measure your interest and time savings so you get the biggest bang for your buck. Next screen, all the way down to 1 penny. It's going to, listen, $1.56, 78, 39, 20, 10, 5, 2, and all the way down to 1 penny. Folks, we brought this down all the way to a penny. Even if you have a few pennies, I mean, you just, listen, I mean, just got some money out of the couch cushion. Somebody out of the couch. And, you know, listen, some of you have, you know, those big old water bottles in your house where you keep all your spare change. You know how much money is in there? Do you know that some of you have enough spare change to save you $5,000 on your mortgage in that big old water bottle you've got? And you didn't even know it. It's when you take that change in and finally take it in and you put it in that little, the thing that counts the change, you think you've got, you got some money. No, then take that money and turn it around and put it on your mortgage. And if you don't know how much it'll save you, you give me a call. I'll tell you how much it'll save you on your mortgage. I got that change out of that big old water bottle, put it on the mortgage, and saved about $5,000 in interest I didn't have to pay. Is that powerful or what? Huh? Anybody? Josephine, are you still here with me? I can't help myself. This thing, I don't want people to be in debt forever. I want you to be unchained. Now you can be debt free when you know how to do it. Does this make sense to anybody? If it makes sense to you, put a number 8 in the chat. All right. Listen, I have CM Investments says, I have a question. And I want to read her question right now. Will this work no matter what year you're in your mortgage? Yes, ma'am, it will. It will. Now, can you become a client for us, with us at any time? Probably. It all depends on how much interest you're actually saving. All right. So some people are starting out in their mortgage. All right. Some people have been in their mortgage 20 years and they're in their last 10 years. So they've already paid a lot of the interest. There's not a whole lot of interest left to save. But here's the thing that you need to understand. All right. Here's the thing that you need to understand, CM Investments, is this. When is the best time to start saving money? Even those people who fill out the savings report, even if we don't recommend our program to them, we will give them some free advice on how they can save money and interest in their situation. Well, it's not exactly free, because once you call us, to get a consultation. The consultation is $150. Okay. Consultation is $150. And if we don't save you at least $150 with our advice to you, you just let us know. Don, that doesn't save me any money at all. I'll give you the $150 back. I have to save you more than $150 or you don't need to pay, not even the consultation fee. I will give it back to you. Who do you know that's giving the consultation fee back if they can't help you? All right. So I'm seeing some 8s in here. I'm even seeing Cliff Rodriguez says, I'm seeing some 8s spelled out. Lord have mercy. All right. If you've got some good information. Let's continue on getting more good information. Don't just come to the room. Do you want to see how this information can help you? So do something about it. Let's put it back on the screen. Here's what you can do about it. Go to ICE10K.com and click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Fill out the information. Find out the month, day, and year you'll be debt free. And find out that once we give you those numbers and we verify that you've given us the right numbers, we will guarantee your results. If you're on Clubhouse, if you're on YouTube, if you ever bought a course or a product or a service, when has anybody ever said, I'm going to give you a guarantee for a lifetime that the results we give you, if you follow our program, we're going to guarantee your results. If you don't get these results, then you don't pay. What in the world? Who does that? We're so confident in our opportunity cost calculator. We're so confident in our calculations to beat the bank at their own game. We're so confident that the numbers we're giving you are right. We will guarantee your results in writing. Yeah. And in 17 years, folks, we've never failed to deliver. Not one time have we failed to deliver in 17 years. Go to, check us out on Better Business Bureau. Do a Google search, or check us out on Bing. Do a Bing search. Oh my goodness, Bing is coming on as a search engine. Either one, any search engine you choose, put in P.I.L.L method today, and you will find that we're at the top of the page, and we're more popular than contraception. P.I.L.L method only used to refer to one thing, but now, since people are finding this out, and we're gaining more and more and more clients, they're clicking on us so often. Yeah, we're more popular than birth control. That is something. And when you check us out on Better Business Bureau, not one complaint in 17 years. That's what we're talking about today, folks. You can have that same thing. So can I show you another reason why? Anybody want to see another reason why we stay in debt forever? Okay. Anybody want to see it? I need you to put a number 7 in the chat if you want to see how to undo something else that we're being taught to do to keep us in debt forever. If you want to see it, put a number 7 in the chat. All right. While you're putting the number 7s in, I'm going to read this question I have here. It says from Danny Jack online. It says, I am in my second year of my auto loan. My interest rate is at 5.94% and on my 15th payment. Yeah, well, see, whatever loan you have, you can save interest. You can save interest. If the bank is charging you interest, there is a way to optimize your interest savings based on information. So let me show you. Listen, I'm getting some number sevens. I think people want to know more about how not to give the bank all that money and interest and how they can get out of debt. Sandy, you're back.
I am. Sorry about that.
All right. So you didn't get a chance to hear any of that, did you?
No.
But that's
No, I
okay.
didn't.
Sandy, for you,
Yes, sir.
we're going to back up because I got some new people in the room. And folks, forgive me for going off this part. So listen, if you have to go away, don't worry about it. You can check out the replay, but I promised Sandy some information. He came here to get this information, and I want to make sure he gets it. Sandy, I'm going to put this back on the screen, and I'm going to have you go through it with me on how to read an amortization schedule, because there is a weakness in the system that keeps us in debt forever. And I'm going to show you how to exploit that weakness just with the basics. But if you have our AI system, artificially intelligent computing system, you can amplify what I'm getting ready to show you so you can save even more interest. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. So I have a $200,000 mortgage on the screen right now. All right. And when we're making this first payment of $1199.10, it's a $200,000 mortgage at 6% for 30 years. Our payment is $1199.10. So as you see this on the screen, how much money goes to principal?
I don't see it on the screen.
Oh, are you?
I paused it and now I can't get back.
Okay, that's okay. So here's what you need to do. All right.
Yeah.
Refresh your screen. Go ahead and refresh everything, or go out and come back in, and then find out where we are again and search P.I.L.L method and click on live stream.
Okay, I'm there.
You're back? Okay. All right. And do you see how much we're paying in principal here?
Yeah, $199.10.
How much goes to interest?
$1,000.
How fair is that?
I thought it was fair. Not that fair.
Okay, so here's what we just found out. When you pay that $199.10, that is principal paid down on your loan. Have you just increased your equity by about $200?
Yes.
Has the bank charged you $1,000 for $200 equity?
Yes.
Is that fair?
No.
My goodness, look at that. Can you imagine?
Usury.
It's usury, isn't it?
Yep.
But the formula they use, you can easily turn that around. Did you know that?
I would love to learn how.
Okay, so let's say we've made our mortgage payment in January. All right, it's done. Okay. What would be February's principal payment?
February's principal payment be $210.
Okay, so we just found out
$200.10.
$200.10. We read a little while ago that we could pay stuff early, right?
Right.
So do you have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10?
No.
You could give it to them in January if you had it?
I could.
And if you did, would all of that money go to principal?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, because you already gave them interest money, right?
Right.
We read it before that all of that money goes to principal. It's a principal payment. It can't go to interest if it's a principal prepayment, correct?
Right.
Exactly. So now, does that mean we're paid down? We give the bank that money early. Are we paid down to line 2 in January?
If we pay it early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that means my next mortgage payment for February would be on what line of the schedule?
Line 3.
Exactly. So let me break this down for you, sir. Do you realize you just got rid of line 2 on your amortization schedule for not nearly $1,200, but for just $200.10? It's gone.
Okay.
So you just turned a 360 monthly payments into 359 monthly payments with just $200.
Right.
All right. So what happened to the $999 on line 2? What happened to that?
It goes away.
It goes away. Isn't that amazing? So
Yeah,
not
that's
only
pretty
are
cool.
you knocking out your loan faster, okay, and getting rid of lines with just small amounts of money, but you're killing massive amounts of interest with small amounts of money.
Okay.
Has anybody ever pointed that out to you?
No.
Not even in the training classes at your brokerage?
No.
Do you think they would love to know this too?
I don't know. They probably some of my fellow sales associates would.
Exactly. And so, listen, what you're going to do, though, you're going to add it as part of your advertising.
Exactly.
Work with me. I'll show you how to pay off that mortgage in an average of 7 to 9 years. All
That sounds great.
right. So now $200 does this. All right.
Okay, quick question.
Go right ahead.
My insurance and taxes are part of my payment.
Right.
So how does that work?
All you have to do is follow the rules and say, I want to make a principal prepayment, just like you make phone calls. Some of my clients do it online.
Okay.
And they might do it online. And there could be a line there that says, here's where you put principal prepayments. That's the same as calling us up and giving us direction.
Right.
Hey, Don.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure you see some of the comments online as well. And I know you're working with Sandy, but I just want to make sure you catch a couple of these.
All right. So I see Wanda here. Is there any other besides Wanda?
Danny Jack was saying, can I do this on an auto loan?
Yes. And then we went over that. We could do that on an auto loan. Yes.
Okay.
And Wanda says, I checked my savings and found no matter how much I had deposited, I was only getting a monthly dividend of 6 cents. Right. I immediately withdrew and paid some against my Lord have mercy. Come on.
That's good. That's good, Wanda. That's real good, Wanda.
She says, I checked my savings here, folks. Listen, I got excited. I checked my savings and found no matter how much I had deposited, I was only getting a monthly dividend of 6 cents. I immediately withdrew some and paid against my mortgage. Oh my goodness. And I don't know how much interest she saved, but it was a whole lot more than 6 cents. Come on, everybody. Thank you, Wanda. Listen, you made my day with that. So Sandy, back with you, sir. Back with you. So now we found out that something that's very powerful. For $200, I can save about $1,000 in interest.
Right.
What if I made my February payment and I said, well, since we attacked the loan with principal payments, what if we give the bank the next 3 principal payments, $200.10, $201.10, and $202.10? The principal payments on line 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
What if we did that?
That would cut down $2,700?
Exactly.
Holy shit.
It's gone. And you knocked off 3 payments you never have to make. So your next payment on February is what line of this schedule?
Is 5.
Exactly. Line 5. It is that simple. This is why it is not taught, not even in your real estate courses. It somehow this information on how loans actually work has stayed out of the curriculum of financial education.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
All right. I want you to see something here. I need you to see something. I need you to go down and take a look at line 12 on this, on your screen. All right. Yep. And I need you to look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. That's column 3 and column 4, sir.
Got it.
If I follow the bank's program, I will pay this loan down in 1 year by how much money? If I look at cumulative principal, how much will I pay it down by?
$24.5601.
And how much interest will I pay them?
If I pay according to their schedule, $11,930. $33.19.
Is that too much money to pay for $2,400 worth of equity?
It is.
So let me ask you this. Now that you know how much equity, how much equity you're going to obtain in 1 year, $2,456 and a penny, do I have to give it to the bank in 12 monthly installments? Do I have to?
You don't have to give them anything.
If I had it, could I give
Right.
that money to them early, maybe on line 1?
Yeah.
If I did, would I be paid down to line 12 in 1 month?
Well, I figure if I'm paying $1,100 a month, or 12, that's $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd go 6 lines down and pay that in advance of the next payment.
I understand, but I'm just asking this
the
question.
Same money.
I'm just asking this question.
Yeah.
My question is, if I paid them the $2,456 in 1 month, would I be paid down to line 12 on my amortization schedule, the principal balance, in just 1 month?
Yes.
And would I skip the interest payments between line 2 and line 12?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Would it look something like this? I give the bank, now it's going to be a little slow coming up on your screen. I give the bank this much money on
Right.
line 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all the principal payments. That's all the principal payments in 1 year. But I'm not waiting. I'm going to give it to them all at once.
Okay.
All right. If I did that, what would happen? So I'm going to give them, so they have to subtract that money for me. All right. I'm paid down. So they would subtract the $2,456.01 from the $200,000 that I had. It leaves me $197,543.99, the same number that's on line 12. Okay. Same number that's on line 12. And then what would happen to all the interest between line 2 and line 12?
It'll all go away.
Hammers. That's how it's done, sir.
Oh.
That's how it's
You
done.
just have to pay it before the payment date.
Exactly. And if you know exactly how much to pay, then you can figure out how much interest you're saving per dollar. What if you found out that you could save $6 for every dollar you applied? $6 in interest for every $1 you applied to principal. Wouldn't that be great?
I think that would be pretty nice.
All right. And then you would also find out that if you paid it wrong, it could go all the way down to $4. Should I accept $4 for every dollar when I could get 6?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have a way of measuring, how would you know when you're getting more or less?
Right.
And that's what we provide with our opportunity cost calculator, to do all the math that tells you exactly how much to pay, when to pay, which loan to attack, so that you can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. And
it totally makes sense now.
Yes, our AI system does all of that. So you want to go to just click on that link above, and you will find a button that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report when you go to our website. And when you go to the P.I.L.L Method website and click on that button, just fill out the information there on how to get a savings and earnings report. Once you get your savings and earnings report done, somebody from my office will give you a call, verify your numbers, set up a consultation for you, and you'll know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free. All right. And how much interest you're going to save. And once we confirm those numbers, we will guarantee that you'll get those results or better if you follow our program. In writing, we'll guarantee it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
No other program on the planet offers that.
Very cool.
Okay. So
yeah.
Listen, I told you I would show you the basics of that. And have I kept my promise to you, sir?
Yes, you have.
All right, sir. Thank you so very much for being here. I'm going to move on to the next thing that I promised the folks, because people want to know what we're doing, what we're being taught. We're being taught by the financial gurus to do certain things that actually keep us in debt longer. Okay. We're not where we are because we're doing stuff that's irresponsible. We are where we are because we're following the advice of the experts. That's what's happening. So let's go back. I want to talk about this one here. You know, right now rates are about 7%. And what some of the experts are telling us is, go ahead, if you can afford the payment, go ahead and get your house now. Go ahead and get your house now. And when the interest rates drop, go ahead and refinance, because now you can refinance into a lower interest rate. Sandy, have you heard of anything like that? Josephina, have you ever heard somebody say that before?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, and when it comes to refinancing, is there a rule of thumb that you've heard about? What's the rule of thumb? If you can save how many points, go ahead and refinance. Have you ever heard the rule of thumb on that?
I haven't, but I know there is one.
There is one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2 points, 1.5 to 2 points. So if you can go from 7% down to 5%, how many people do you know that would refinance to go from 7 to get a 5% interest rate?
A lot.
A lot of people. All right, I got Andy who raised his hand. All right, so let's invite Andy to speak. Andy, I'm trying to bring you up. Go ahead and come on up here, sir. Andy, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. I did have a question.
Go right ahead, sir.
From the last example you gave, so you have a $200,000 mortgage, your payment was $1,100. You save a whole year's worth of interest. You pay the principal up front. This I understand. My question is, so you make that payment, $2,600 in February. What's your payment in March? It goes back to the $1,100, correct?
Yes, and you would be.
So your example.
Yeah.
Dead ball's accurate. I can't dispute anything, and I wouldn't. And obviously, your knowledge far exceeds mine. But your example also, it assumes that you can afford to do that.
No, it doesn't. No, I just said if. If you had it, you could do this. So what we're doing, so whatever you're doing, whatever you have, let's see how we can make the best of it. Are you watching? Are you able to see my screen, sir?
I'm not. I do have an iPad. I'm not in the.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm listening.
All right. So here's the part that.
Listen. I've had mortgage since I'm 25 years old.
Right.
I understand what an amortization schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. Trust me, I do.
Okay.
But it does.
Listen. Can you listen to this part, Andy?
If I had an extra $50,000, should I just take it back, buy down my?
Absolutely not.
Here's my.
Absolutely not, Andy. You would not do that.
8 to 10%, let's say, with your money in the stock market.
Yeah.
Although we know that's volatile.
Yeah.
However, I've been doing that for 40 years as well.
Right.
And your mortgage rate is only 2.5%. Is it worth to pay it down? That's my question.
That's your question. Let's put another example on the screen. Let's take that $200,000 and let's put it at 2.5%. Andy, how about that?
Sure.
Okay. So but you can see the replay when you get a chance if you can't see this example, okay? All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to put this on the screen and all right, let's go ahead and put it back on the screen now. All right, we got an amortization calculator on the screen, Andy, and we're doing two $200,000 in, do I have the wrong screen up again?
Yeah, I just see the presentation.
Okay, hold on. All right, let me move this over here. All right.
I see it now.
Got it. Okay, Andy. So we're going to do 2.5%. Okay. 2.5%. All right. So first of all, $200,000 at 2.5%. Your payment is $790.24. You follow me, Andy?
Yep.
So it's a lot less. But when you go to sign this mortgage, the bank is going to tell you that you owe us $84,000 in 30 years. You owe us $84,486.40 in interest over the 30 years. Does that sound like that 84,000 is 2.5% of $200,000?
Again, it's amortized.
Exactly.
It's 40. So the answer is no. However,
it's 42.
It's a choice to buy that property or not.
Yeah.
And if you had the $200,000, you could buy it for $200,000.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't have the $200,000, this is the avenue of how to get that property
right
on a mortgage. I I mean, is it fair?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it fair? I mean, I would say yes, because you signed a contract and you knew what you were getting into.
All right.
And this is the cost. This is the cost of the money, and the bank is in business to make money.
Yep.
And you have a choice during the lifetime of that mortgage to pay it down.
You most certainly do.
I mean, for example, I had a $535,000 mortgage. Doesn't matter. And I remember I refinanced it, and to get a conforming mortgage in the area I live, it had to be $500,000. So I paid it down. I dumped $25,000 into it. Now, from your point of view, that's a great idea. Always.
No. Well, listen. And don't assume that anything you do is as good as any other thing you do because of what I'm saying. I am not telling you exactly how my program works right now. I'm just telling you what the bank is doing to you and how you can undo it. I am not giving specific information on how to best use your money.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So when you sign that mortgage, you're signing up to pay $284,000, not $200,000, sir. $284,486. So the $200,000 you can't do it.
And I think everybody who signs that document knows this. It's not a secret. Would you agree with that?
Well, they don't know that they can cut it by 75%. That's what they don't know.
I've often heard if you just give an extra $100 each month on your mortgage, that cuts it 7 years. Is that urban legend, or is that
that is completely urban legend? Completely. Okay. So here's the thing. When it comes to this, okay, you want anybody who's giving you financial advice, make them show you the numbers, because we repeat things often enough, it becomes true only in our minds, but no one has ever shown us empirical data. Here's what I do know for sure, Andy, and I'm going to ask you. All right, I'm going to ask you. Are we expected to use credit cards? All right, so we have credit cards available to us to use, car loans, even loans to get education, loans to get mortgages. Have you ever had a class on any of it? How to best use it for you so that it benefits you and not the bank?
Again, the answer to that question is no, but
that's all I'm asking right now, Andy.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking.
But isn't it incumbent of you as a consumer to understand the products you're getting into?
I understand that. Here's what I'm saying, Andy. If the class doesn't exist, how are you going to get it? Do you realize that if I gave your accountant $500, your accountant, the one that does your taxes, the one that you trust, I gave your accountant $500 and told that accountant, put $500 on your mortgage. Do you know your own accountant wouldn't know how much interest they saved? Because they're not even taught. So if your accountant doesn't know, if your financial planner doesn't know.
Wait. That's an assumption
That's not, I've been doing this
I mean, with my accounting, a master's in taxation, been an accountant since he's in 5th grade. His dad was I just think.
Andy, don't talk over me. Okay. Don't talk over me. Okay. Here's what I'm saying. I've been doing this 17 years and asking these questions. I had accountants on the stage. I've had loan officers on the stage. I have somebody who's on the stage right now. His name is Eric. He's been in real estate like forever. And the class doesn't exist. Eric, am I telling the truth?
Factual. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. So what we're actually taking for granted is all the heuristics and rules of thumb and all the wives' tales that we've heard. We're actually accepting that as truth with no evidence. How about that? I mean, that's what's really going on here. So, sir, here's what I want to ask you. If there's a way, I'm going to use what you gave me, the 2.5%, because this is very important information. Okay, 2.5% on this mortgage. Here is my payment now. Okay, my payment is $790.24. Okay, and my very first payment, $373.57 goes to principal. $416.67 goes to interest. Okay, so in 1 year, even on this mortgage, and you asked if I can make 7, 9, 10% on a loan, would it make sense to pay down this loan at 2.5%? Correct? Was that your question? Andy?
No, my question was,
yeah,
if I have a loan
yes,
at 2.5%,
yes,
and let's just say this month, because I just looked,
yeah,
this month I made 3.6% with my other money in the market.
mm-hmm.
Not great from 2.5. The math isn't that wonderful, but
right.
I've done better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, in the last 30 days,
right.
Is it better to have access to my money and investing it in other ways? Or is it better to take the money that I have and pay off my mortgage at 2.5%? Here
is what I would say. Do not touch a dime of the money that you have in your investment. Leave that there. But do you have other monies that aren't in your investment that may be sitting in the bank? Are you investing everything you have? Or do you have some money sitting in the bank?
I definitely have money sitting in the
bank. and it's making right now 1/10 of 1%.
It's making, well, I'm in a credit union. It's a little bit higher than
okay. But it's
a little bit.
But it's less than 1%. Okay. So don't touch a dime of the money that's in your investment. Okay. And let's compare what we could do. Now, I'm just picking out some numbers here just to make a point. So here's my point. I'm going to now show you a cumulative principal for 1 year. It's $4,543.61. I'm not saying that's how my program works. I'm just picking out a number because it's just easy. It's right there. So that's how much principal I would pay down in 1 year. Guess what? It would cost me $4,948.27. So Andy, am I increasing my equity by $4,534.61? The answer would be yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it cost me $4,948.27 to get that equity?
Yeah, it's the same example, just a little bit higher, lower numbers. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right. So do I really have equity if it costs me $4,900 to get $4,500 in equity?
Okay, so here's my question.
Sure.
Although 30 and the loan that you were talking about,
Right.
let's just keep
If it takes me away from the first question, let me answer the first question first. If you ask me a new question.
You were talking about a 30-year loan. That's the only thing in your example, you used the word 30 years loan.
Yes.
But in the back end of the loan, it does reverse itself.
Yes, it does. But right now, this is what it cost in the front end. Right?
Fair enough. I'm just trying to understand the entire picture.
Right. All right. So let's get this picture first, and then we can understand the back end. How does that sound? Okay. So here's what we're saying. If I had the money, the 45, 34, 61, do you realize I could prepay that if I had it? All right. I could prepay that, and I could be here in 1 year and 1 month. Do you realize that if I did that, give the bank $4,500 in 1 month instead of over 12, do you realize it would only cost me $416 in interest to get the same equity?
Yep, I understand that.
Okay, so here is my return on that money. I just saved $4,540.25. Benjamin Franklin was reported to say, "A penny saved is a penny earned." Do you subscribe to that theory?
I do.
Okay. Is $4,540.25 saved? 4,540.25. Is that money also earned when it's saved?
Yep.
Okay. So let's do the math. I'm bringing up on my computer here. I'm bringing up and this is how we do that math. Here's my results for investment. I'm investing 54.34. I'm investing that money, but I'm investing it not in the stock market. I'm going to invest it in my mortgage, in my equity. So it's but what I'm getting, my results are saving $4,540. So $4,540.25. That is my result. I'm investing $4,152.39. All right. When I do the math, here's what I get. I get 109% return on that money because I prepaid it in a mortgage, but I'm getting 7, 8, 9, 10% in the market. Can I use my money that I got sitting in the bank to give me 109% return on my money? Sir?
Again, extra money. What's your mortgage payment the very next month? Listen,
sir, I'm answering your question. You asked me a question. Let me answer it. My next mortgage payment the next month is on line 13 of this amortization schedule. I just cut out 11 payments I never have to make, giving the bank the same amount of money and giving them that money. I gave it to them for $416 in interest instead of $4,948 in interest. Sir, is there any circumstance that you can think of that I should pay the bank $4,900 in interest just to get $4,500 in equity?
I do not.
Okay, that's your answer. And my next mortgage payment would be on line 13. I just cut out 11 payments I never have to make. I just saved $4,500 in interest. Now, if you had a kid and they went out and bought a car, all right, they bought a nice car, but they paid $50,000 for a $20,000 car, is there any way that you would say, son, what are you doing? Did they make a good deal or not? That's where we are. We are there. How to get your equity for cheaper is what we're about, sir. Now, next question.
I'm good for now.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Eric, I see you in here, man. What's up?
Well, I just came in this morning because, we do the Monday through Friday, focusing on all things real estate. And Don, I didn't realize that we were supposed to be talking about tax deeds. And because Don got on a roll at 6 a.m., you had me enamored. And I just want to say to your listening audience that I have been in real estate brokerage, new development, and all things, and they're all pillars since 1999. And to this very day, I sit here and I'm enamored because the fourth grade math is just literally, I love the way you format this because we're basically taking lines off the spreadsheet. And that from my brain, I'm a little neurodiverse and I'm I'm a Pied Piper of leader. I make it rain and I don't always have my buckets in the right spots. So I build teams around me for my blind spots and what you might see as a weakness in your business acumen. And I got to tell you, this not only does this take every person in these United States of America, because God bless America for the financial system. I mean, that's what we have, and that's in contrast to the rest of this planet. That's why we are a proud nation of immigrants, if in fact you are of that ethos. But Don, what you do with this and the what's the word I'm looking for here? Consistency of delivering this message so far supersedes that you're trying to sell a course or be a coach. It's just about education at such a fundamental level. I don't know why I'm so enamored, but every time you go to speak, and I think it's part of your delivery as a speaker, I'm enamored by your calm ability to walk through this TikTok. Again, it's not there's no rocket science here, but really getting your brain around this. I really appreciate Andy here walking through this as well, because resonate with that wrestling match that what we're doing is our subconscious has been programmed. What we got to remember is that we were born into a system that has educated us to become employees, push a button, stand in line, sit down, you can't, don't get out of line, and those are the things, as some of us are entrepreneurial in nature and some of us want to be and are enamored by it, but are not because we're so programmed. I don't mean to take up too much mic here, but I just really appreciate what you do for community and the way that you consistently stand in space and really not try to help people, but you do help people day after day after day. And I'm just proud of that and proud to know you.
Thank you, Eric.
I'm here to support.
Thank you, Eric. So, folks, hang out here on Clubhouse for just a few minutes. We're going to say goodbye to everybody else who's online. I'm over time by about 8 minutes. I thank you so much. I mean, the conversation is just so stimulating. But, folks, we're going to say goodbye to everybody who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And we're going to be right back here again on Wednesday. Goodbye, everybody online.